Greetings and welcome back to the Galley of the Sun. Today, our second cook on our brand new charcoal grill. I can't wait. Today we are doing saffron chicken tikka. Now, really, we're doing it tomorrow. There's some things I need to do today to prep for it. Now, the director has been fantastic and already gotten some stuff done ahead of time for me. So, first thing we're gonna do is make a chutney. And in that chutney is one bunch of cilantro, one bunch of fresh mint, a cup of Greek yogurt. The juice of one lemon has already been put in there. And we're gonna get a good amount of salt and pepper in there. Good couple pinches. We're gonna get that mixed up. All right, by doing this the night before, these flavors are gonna have a ton of time to mix and it's gonna be so much better. So I'm gonna get that into a container, get it in the fridge, and move on to the next step. Oh yeah, that's good. All right, so what I just told you was partially fake news. That's what happens when you don't communicate well with the people that are helping you. The chutney that we just made is missing a vital ingredient. So it goes back into the blender. I thought that was a little runny. And in with that is gonna go about a cup of baby spinach. We'll call that a cup right there. Gonna push that down with my spatula. Make sure we are set to a low speed, and we are. And we'll get the spinach added. And there we go. Ah, much darker green and thicker. Now that is gonna set with all that extra vitamin C in our refrigerator until tomorrow. Now we're gonna get our chicken prepped. It's gonna marinate in 2 different steps. I'll tell you the truth, I am filming another episode at the same time, so I prepped the previous episode. Now I'm doing this. Once we get this together, it's gonna end up marinating for an hour. Then I'm gonna finish the episode I'm on. We're gonna eat it, and then we're gonna finish this up. Yeah, it's crazy. But that's life here at the Galley of the Sun. I've got boneless, skinless chicken thighs here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut these into chunks to put on a skewer tomorrow. My skewers are pretty big, so I want decent sized chunks, maybe an inch to an inch and a half chunks. And then we're gonna chuck the chunks into a bowl. So yeah, we're looking at about this size right here. So basically I'm cutting each thigh into about 6 pieces. So as always, all the ingredients, their amounts, and the directions are down in the description. So if you follow that, you won't jack up the chutney like I did. All right, our chicken's chucked up.
What?
Our chicken is chunked up and chucked into the bowl. We'll get things washed off, and then we'll continue on with that first marinade. All right, let's get that first marinade together. So down in the description, you can see it says 4 cloves of garlic, roughly chopped. So I have 7 here. You know how we roll. And if you don't, this is how we roll. Now the recipe says roughly chop. If you just squash them, peel them, and get that hard end off, and then chuck it in the blender, you'll be just fine. Unless you have a sketchy blender, then rough chop them first. This blender ain't sketchy.
Nope.
All right, 2 of those wonderful cloves of garlic. We're gonna take about an inch to 2 of fresh ginger, get it peeled. This we're gonna rough chop, even with the Vitamix, and chuck that in the blender. All right, got that peeled pretty well. Now, just gonna rough chop it into the blender. To that we'll add a teaspoon or 2 of lime juice.
What?
Did I say lime? I meant lemon. Oh well. Then a tablespoon or 2 of water to help it get mixed together. There we go. And now we blend. God bless the Vitamix. All right, so that all gets dumped in our chicken. And I'm gonna get a spatula and make sure I get every bit of that goodness. Now we'll get that all mixed in with our chicken. Then we're gonna cover with saran wrap, chuck it in the refrigerator, and we'll finish up the rest of the marinade that it's gonna sit in overnight after I finish filming the previous episode. We'll see you then. So as we had our dinner of Chilean steak with pepper sauce, which was amazing, this chicken was in its first marinade. Now we're gonna finish the marinade up and it's gonna go overnight. So what we're gonna add to the bowl is, I have a teaspoon of saffron threads that have been sitting in 2 teaspoons of hot water. So saffron is the most expensive spice in the world. 90% of it comes from Iran. In fact, we did an earlier episode of lemon saffron chicken wings, Iranian lemon saffron chicken wings. They turned out absolutely amazing. You can see it right here. One of our favorite chicken wing recipes. But when you're dealing with saffron, 1, use gloves because it'll stain the crap out of you. 2, be smart about the bowl you use. Don't use a plastic bowl because it's going to be red. In goes our saffron. What I have here is a 1/2 cup of heavy cream and a 1/2 cup of Greek yogurt. So most of you cooks know this. Pro tip though, if you have that kind of combination, a liquid and something that is like mayo or yogurt or peanut butter even, that isn't always easy to get that right amount because there's air pockets in there. You put your liquid in first, then you put in your sour cream or your yogurt or whatever. It raises the level of the liquid and then you know exactly how much you have. And you only get 1 measuring cup dirty instead of 2. So in goes that. We have a teaspoon of salt. We have 1/2 teaspoon of white pepper. We have 1/2 teaspoon of ground cardamom. Then we have a teaspoon, actually a 1/2 teaspoon, once again, just read the directions, don't listen to me, of ground mace. Now you probably don't have ground mace in your spice cabinet. You can get it from Amazon. It's a very interesting citrusy sort of smell. It's going to mix well with all this. From there, we're just going to get this all mixed up and then we're going to get it covered with plastic wrap and into the fridge for overnight. And this is similar to that Iranian saffron lemon chicken I was talking about earlier. Not exactly the same. There's some different spices in here, but what this yogurt mixture does to the texture of the chicken is just absolutely amazing. It isn't only the taste, it's the texture that gets changed too. You'll know you have this well mixed up when you see an equal yellow color throughout. That saffron is going to stain everything and give all those white constituents a yellow looking color. Oh my God, and it smells amazing. And it's raw. I want to eat it, but I don't want to get sick, so I ain't going to eat it. We'll see you tomorrow. Here we are on Chicken Tikka Day. Most of the work was done yesterday, so really there's some tedious work done today, but no brain thinking required. So cheers, my friends. I don't have to think. Okay, a fantastic side dish to go with this saffron chicken tikka. What? A fantastic side dish to go with this saffron chicken tikka is some yellow rice or saffron rice. I wanted saffron rice, but they were out unfortunately, but this yellow rice will work. I'm just going to prepare this by the package. Now there is something smart you can do. So this is the first time that I've cooked on this grill with the skewers. So I took my skewers out there and laid them down where they're going to set, and it's perfect where the grooves are. I'll take the grate out. They're going to be right over the fire. There are marks on these skewers, a little watermark of the company that made them. I know that just about a thumb length ahead of it, that's where the flame's going to be, and it goes to about here. So I want to make sure that I keep all my chicken between these 2 points to get nice even cooking. Now all we're going to do is thread these up. Now this isn't like a kebab you make in the US where you have meat and then tomato and onion and pepper, meat, tomato, onion, pepper. No, we're just packing chicken on here, right? We should not have to use all 8 of these ginormous skewers, but I have them out just in case. Another thing, just like yesterday, there's still saffron in there, so I'm going to want to use gloves, or it's going to make my hands a weird color. And you know I don't do weird. By the way, I learned this a couple weeks ago the hard way. If you're cooking outside in the hot Arizona sun, these black gloves, no bueno, no bueno. Get the blue ones or the white ones or the clear ones. The difference in heat on your hands is incredible. You wouldn't think it would be that different for the color. Oh my gosh, it is. Look at our glorious chicken there. It smells absolutely amazing. discard the marinade. I know it's going to be hard to do. You're going to look at that and think, oh my God, that would make such a good sauce to go over rice or something like that. No, it's had the raw chicken in it overnight. So as wonderful as it smells, discard it. So as I thread these skewers, I'm going to try and knock off as much of that marinade as possible. From this point, yeah, it's just poking meat is all we're doing. So I'm going to poke chicken for the next, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. That's another pro tip. This always takes longer than you think it's going to. So start earlier than you think you should. There you go. We'll see you after that. Okay, the cooking's all done. Now we're going to bring Shar in here to tell us how we did.
Okay. Get a piece right here.
That chutney that we made yesterday with the cilantro and mint.
And the rice, the saffron rice.
The saffron rice and the saffron chicken tikka.
You can taste it, but it's not overpowering. It's a nice compliment.
So, okay, so the chutney does work with it.
Yes.
Okay, like the director doesn't like mint, so she's not going to have this chutney on hers. So you don't want to pour it on everything, you know, set it off to the side. But for the people that don't mind mint, it works.
It works.
Fantastic. There you go. So, saffron chicken tikka. Give it a try. Hey, thank you so much for joining us. Until we see you next time, fair winds and following seas.